Hello friends, welcome to Kurt Berglund's Baseball World. Today we are continuing my 1981 split season replay for the Chicago Cubs using season ticket baseball. In this game, this is game 2 of the replay. This will be periodically on my channel. Some of it I'm going to do offline. But in this game, this will be the last game that we do using just the quick start guide, quick start card. And starting with the next game, I'm going to start incorporating some of the optional rules so you can see what those look like. But we're going to stick with the quick start card here and go with that so that you're feeling like you've got enough examples of me doing that to be able to play the quick start card yourself. So that's our goal. The date is October 11th, 1981, and the New York Mets are in town at Wrigley Field to take on the Cubs. If you missed the first game of the season, yikes. So today the Cubs are hoping it goes better. The opposing pitchers will be Pat Zachry, the right-hander for the Mets, for Joe Torre's Mets, and he will be opposed by right-hander Randy Martz for Joey Amalfitano's Cubs. It works out that I'll be using the as-played lineups not only for the Mets, which I'm going to be doing for all the Cubs opponents in this project, but I'm using Joey Amalfitano's lineup here today as well. Not committing myself to that long term, but today I kind of like it, so we're going with it. So it's Zachry versus Martz in Game 2 of our split season replay. The Cubs right now are 0-1. Let's get to, and don't forget to check out channel membership. The link for channel membership is in the description for this video. A great time to join the membership side of the channel, get secondary store discounts, free stuff every month, and exclusive video content. So, if you have questions about that, please email me at berglund.kurt@yahoo.com and I'll tell you more about it. Now, let's get to today's starting lineups. For the visiting New York Mets, Joe Torre's lineup looks like this. Mookie Wilson leads off in center field. Frank Taveras bats second at shortstop. Joel Youngblood gets the start today in left field and bats third. Dave Kingman bats fourth. He'll play first base. Ellis Valentine bats fifth. He'll play right field. Huey Brooks bats sixth. He'll play third. John Stearns bats seventh. He'll catch. And Doug Flynn will bat eighth and play second base. And on the mound, it's Pat Zachry. Pat Zachry, 24 starts in 1981. He was 7-14, 3 complete games, and a 4.14 earned run average. For the homestanding Chicago Cubs of 1981 vintage, Ivan DeJesus will lead off at shortstop. Steve Henderson bats second and left. Bill Buckner bats third at first base. Leon Durham bats fourth in right field. Bobby Bonds bats fifth. He'll play center. Jody Davis bats sixth. He'll catch. Ken Reitz bats seventh. He'll play third base. And Steve Dillard will bat eighth at second base. On the mound, it's Randy Martz, who was a little bit of a Swiss Army knife for this team in 1981. 33 games, 14 starts, 5-7, 1-loss record, 6 saves, a 368 earned run average, and we are ready to go at Wrigley Field. This is our ballpark chart that we will be referring to. When you play season ticket baseball, the most important die is the red one because that tells you what 100 number you're looking at. The white die will be the tens digit, the blue die will be the ones digit, and we are ready to go with Mookie Wilson stepping in against right-hander Randy Martz, and that'll be a 677, so we're going to be on the ballpark chart right away in this ball game. Mookie gets a jam job base hit over the head of Ivan DeJesus, and we're underway. Mookie aboard with a single, and what the heck? Let's do a stolen base attempt right off the bat, just because we can. Okay. So, first thing we have to do is to work on the jump. So to figure that out, we got the steal rating. Mookie's steal rating is a 5. We're going to add that to our 2 D10s. And then we're going to compare that to the hold rating of Randy Martz and add 10 to that. So the steal rating for Mookie is a 5. The hold rating for Martz is a 5. So they kind of cancel out. The hold rating is a 15, therefore. That's the number we're trying to beat. So if the D10s add up to 11 or more, Mookie will get the jump. He gets the jump, just barely. All right. Now, we do the steal attempt. So, Jody Davis's arm gets 10 added to it. His arm is a 5. These are wonderfully color-coded cards to make even blind people like yours truly be able to see. And now we add Mookie's speed number, which is 5, to the 3 dice total. Compare that to 15. And that is a 13, which is less than 15. And Jody Davis guns him down. It's Jody Davis to Ivan DeJesus, who applies the tag, and Mookie Wilson is out. Frank Taveras, Randy Martz, kicks and deals. This is a 339. So that'll be on Taveras' card. And it's chopped on the infield off Martz's glove. And Taveras is safe at first. Joe Torre's not going to risk 2 caught stealings in an inning, though, so it's Youngblood. Martz the stretch. The pitch to Joel Youngblood is a 253. So we look under the right-handed batter column against Martz. Grounded to Reitz. Ken Reitz goes to Dillard for 1, and the relay to Buckner is in time for a rally-killing, soul-crushing, around-the-horn, and inning-ending 5-4-3 double play turned by the Cubs. And we go to the bottom of the first, where Pat Zachry will attempt to shut down the Cubs' offensive machine, which isn't really. All right, so Zachry winds and deals. It's a 369. DeJesus hits a ground ball to Hubie Brooks. He's up with it and throws to Dave Kingman for out number 1. Now it's left fielder Steve Henderson, former Met. The pitch from Zachry is a 454. And that's over here against a right-handed pitcher. Hey, struck him out on the broccoli cauliflower medley. Gas. 2 down in the first. Here's Buck. Zachry kicks and deals. 687. So we're going to look at the ballpark chart. A 687 is a base hit. It's a long single for Buckner, but there's nobody on. So it doesn't really matter. Buckner holds it first with a single, and now Durham with 2 outs and Buckner aboard. Zachry the stretch and the delivery. It's a 697. That might be interesting. And it's more than that because we got to add 5 to it, which I forgot to do to Buckner. And I don't remember Buckner's numbers, so we'll leave him at first. This, however, will turn a 697 into a 702, which is a walk. 2 on for Bobby Bonds. 2 on, 2 out now for Bobby Bonds. Zachry the stretch. The delivery is a 279. Right-handed batter is Bobby Bonds. And it's to left and deep. This could be trouble. Bobby Bonds' power number is a 7, so we start with that. And we roll our 2d10s. That's going to be to left and very deep. And caught at the wall by Joel Youngblood. Oh my goodness. One more biscuit for breakfast and Bobby Bonds goes deep for a 3-run jack. But no, Joel Youngblood catches it in the well and that ends the first inning. Both teams have what the little boys shot at, nothing. Randy Martz will face Dave Kingman, Ellis Valentine, and Huey Brooks in inning number 2. Martz kicks and deals, 290. Against a right-handed Dave Kingman is a deep drive to left. Kingman's power is a 9. Got to add our D10s. And that's going to be to left and deep. Back goes Steve Henderson. And that's on Waveland Avenue, my friends. Kong just left the building. It's 1-0 Mets. Here's Ellis Valentine. Martz kicks and deals to the Met right fielder. It's 250. And that is grounded to Ken Reitz to his left. He gloves it and throws to Bill Buckner for out number 1. Huey Brooks coming up now. Martz winds and delivers a 142. Walked him. 1 out, 1 on for the Mets. Stearns. Infield playing for 2. The pitch from Martz is a 205. So we're going to transition this now. We go from a 205 to a 405. And it's ball 4. 2 walks in a row now for Martz. And Flynn comes to the plate. Still 1 out. On deck is Zachry. Martz the stretch, and the pitch to the Mets second baseman is a 199. And that's a jam job bleeder over Buckner's head. It's going to dribble into right field, and merry-go-round starts. Scoring from second is Huey Brooks. And let's check and see what happens to, with 2 outs. No, there's only 1 out. So that's going to hold Stearns at third. Flynn gets his second double of the split season. He had one yesterday, and I almost needed resuscitation. Pat Zachry is going to come to the plate now with runners at second and third and 1 out. Pat Zachary's offensive numbers are indeed offensive. He has an eye of a 4, which is nothing like an eye of the Tiger, and a contact number of a 1, if those come into play. The pitch to him is a 529, so that's not going to matter even a little bit. A 529 will be a defensive check, and that's going to be for Jody Davis. A 529, passed ball. Stearns scores from third on the passed ball, and Flynn goes to third. 3-0 Mets. The next delivery to Zachry is a 297. And Pat Zachry hits it deep to left. We got to look at his power number. That's a 0. Steve Henderson, and let me tell you, if you thought Dave Kingman is a bad outfielder, I mean, when it's hit to Steve Henderson, you fear for the guy's safety. The addition here is 13. That's to left, and that's going to be caught by Henderson, although he certainly made an adventure of it. But now let's see what Flynn does. It's an R3 question mark. So if there's a runner at third, what that tells us is that he's got to go. So Flynn is going to challenge Steve Henderson's arm. And when I use the term Steve Henderson's arm, we're just talking about the appendage hanging below his shoulder. We're not talking about anything that can throw anybody out. All right, so the speed is what we're looking at. We're going to add Doug Flynn's speed of a 3 to the dice roll. And that will be, don't tell me, there's three kinds of people, my friends. Those that can do math and those that cannot. So this is a 13 for Doug Flynn's speed. Now, to challenge that, we're going to take Steve Henderson's arm, the appendage hanging below his shoulder, and his arm in left is a 5. Wow. He's got a rocket out there, baby. All right, so we're going to add 10 to it. Henderson throwing home. Jody Davis applies the tag, and they get Flynn. Steve Henderson hasn't thrown anybody out since T-ball, and he just got Flynn at the plate. But the Mets get a 3 spot in the second on 2 hits. They don't leave anybody thanks to the cannon possessed by Steve Henderson. And we go to the bottom of the second with your score, Mets 3, Cubs nothing. Pat Zachry now has an embarrassment of riches to deal with, and Jody Davis, Ken Reitz, and Steve Dillard coming to the plate. Zachry kicks and deals a 157. He walks him. Good start for the Cubs. Zachary's second walk of the game, and now Reitz as the Mets infield moves for a double play. The pitch, 260 against the right-handed batting Reitz. Is a deep drive to left. Reitz's power is a 2. If Reitz hits one out of here, wow. It's a 15. It's hit to left. Back goes Youngblood. He's going to make the catch. Nobody at second to tag up in advance, so Youngblood makes the catch. Davis retreats to first, and now it's Dillard. Pat Zachry, the stretch, and the pitch to the Cubs' second baseman is a 267, and it's deep to left again. Dillard's power is a 4. We're going to add our 10. That's to left and deep. But one more biscuit for breakfast is what Dillard needed, because Joel Youngblood catches this one as well. And that'll bring up Martz with 2 outs. Randy Martz, for his offense, and I use that term in its broadest possible sense, has 2 for a contact rating and 5 for an I rating. So he can see the E. And this is a 645. Can you believe it? We're going to add 5 to make it 650. Martz chops it to Dave Kingman. And Kong is going to take it to the bag himself in an unprecedented show of agility and, quite frankly, ambition, as he takes it to the bag himself and ends the Cubs second. We go to the third with your score, Mets 3, Cubs nothing. Wilson, Taveras, and Youngblood coming up for the Mets against Randy Martz. Top of the Mets order in the third. Martz kicks and deals. This is a 696. And that is going to be just inside the right field line. Durham's got to go get it. It's going to rattle around in the corner. Mookie Wilson around first. He's going to cruise into second with a leadoff double in the third. And the Cubs pitching is getting torched by a less than powerful Mets offense. Martz the stretch, the pitch to Taveras. 221. This will be turn into a 421. And that's right here, slapped into center. Coming on is Bobby Bonds, and he's going to make the catch for out number 1. Joel Youngblood stepping in now. He's 0 for 1. Martz the stretch, and the delivery is a 245. That will be grounded to Steve Dillard at second. To his left, he gloves it, plants, and throws to Buckner for out number 2 as Mookie Wilson takes third with 2 outs. And now it's Kingman who went on to Waveland Avenue just last inning. Martz the stretch, and the pitch to Kong. 671. Did he do it again? Did he do it again? No. Martz uncorks a wild pitch, and scoring is Wilson. And it's 4-0 Mets. Now, there's an optional rule that fatigue kicks in here, but I'm not going to do it in this particular game. We're going to stick to the quick start card. So Kingman now ahead in the count, 1-0. The pitch. 173 is a base hit for Kingman. Now it's Valentine with 2 outs. Martz the stretch. The delivery to Ellis Valentine is a 296. That's deep to left. Valentine's power is an 8. This may not end well. It's a... Oh, he got under it. Steve Henderson, there's that man again, making the catch near the wall, and that's out number 3. But the Mets add a run to their lead. They get a run on 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the third, and it's 4-0 Mets. Pat Zachry, the embarrassment of riches continues for that guy, and he's dealing with the top of the Cub order in inning number 3. To Jesus, Henderson, and Buckner. Zachry kicks and deals a 246. Ground ball, Hubie Brooks takes it by the bag and fires to Kingman for out number 1. Steve Henderson, don't challenge that arm. Zachry winds and deals a 602 for Hendu. And hey, struck him out on the baked beans. Gas. 2 strikeouts for Zachry, 2 strikeouts for Henderson. And now it's Buckner. 1 for 1. Zachry kicks and deals. 617 for Buck. We add 5 because it's the home team. And popped up. Frank Taveras on the infield dirt, drifting into foul territory now, and takes it for out number 3. We go to the 4th with your score. Mets 4, Cubs nothing. Got a rough start to my replay where I'm trying to keep the Cubs in the second half mix for a playoff spot. It's Brooks, Stearns, and Flynn, 6, 7, 8 for the Mets in the 4th. Randy Martz kicks and deals. That's a 122. Hit in the air to left. Steve Henderson toward the line is getting in his road work, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Now it's John Stearns. That's the first time Martz has retired a leadoff batter in an inning. The pitch from Martz is a 664. That is grounded to DeJesus. Ivan is up with it and throws to Buckner for out number 2. Doug Flynn now with that big double in the second. Martz winds and delivers to the second baseman. It's a 415. Grounded to Ivan DeJesus. He cuts it off from going up the middle, plants and strong arms it to Buckner for out number 3. We go to the bottom of 4 with your score. A nice 1-2-3 inning there from Martz. We go to the bottom of 4 with your score. Mets 4, Cubs nothing. Durham, Bonds, and Davis, lefty, righty, righty, coming up in the Cubs 4th. Pat Zachry winds and deals a 575, so we've got a defense check for Joel Youngblood in left field. 570. Oh, yeah, that's right. Wait a minute. No, that's not right. We've got to adjust this. That's what we've got to do. We've got to adjust this for left field. All right, we can do that. We've got the technology. So that's 5 in. So that would be a fly ball to Joel Youngblood in left field, and he's going to make the catch in left center, and that's going to be out number 1 in the bottom of the 4th. Here's Bobby Bonds, 0 for 1. Pat Zachry winds and deals to the Cubs center fielder. It's a 496. And that's to center field and deep. Back goes Mookie near the track. He'll put it away for out number 2. Jody Davis in his rookie season walked in the 2nd. The pitch from Zachry is a 213. And that turns into a 413. And struck him out on a bender. Zachry's in command in this one. We go to the 5th. Mets 4, Cubs nothing. Martz coming out. He is fatigued. He can become fatigued, depending upon if the Mets get base runners, which seems like an inevitability the way things are going. And it's going to be Zachry first to lead off, then the top of the order with Wilson and Taveras. Zachary's 0 for 1. The pitch is a 113. Struck him out. Baked beans. Gas. 1 down in the 5th for the Cub right-hander. Now it's Wilson, 2 for 2. The pitch is a 600. And struck him out. Pork and beans. Beans, the musical fruit, my friends. The more you eat, the more you toot. Frank Taveras, 1 for 2. Martz kicks and deals a 617. Popped him up. This wouldn't be a home run in a phone booth. Drifting into foul play is Steve Dillard, and he's going to make the play for out number 3. We're halfway through this one. Martz has now retired 7 in a row. I think I need oxygen. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Reitz, Dillard, and Martz coming against Pat Zachry, who's also in stamina land. Reitz is 0 for 1. The former Cardinal third baseman. The pitch is a 100. That will be turned into a 300, and that will turn into the broccoli cauliflower medley with a little nacho cheese. Yes. 4th strikeout for Zachry. And look at this, 10 in a row retired for the Mets right-hander. Here's Dillard, 0 for 1. Zachry kicks and deals a 634. And that will add 5-2 to make it a 639 to center field, but not deep. Mookie Wilson is there for out number 2. Now Martz. Martz is up, and will I pinch hit for him? Well, with 2 outs in the 5th, I don't think so. All right, here we go. This is a 676. We add 5, 681. Base hit, Randy Martz. Yes. That is a 2-out single, and now DeJesus comes up. That's going to add to Zachry's fatigue, but Torrey is going to stick with him. 2 outs in the 5th. The pitch to DeJesus. I flipped the card. I shouldn't have done that. 540, so that's going to be an error check or a defense check for Doug Flynn. 540 will be a ground ball to Flynn. He's going to throw to Dave Kingman, and that will retire the side in the 5th for Chicago. We go to the 6th. Martz is throwing a 2-hitter. Both of them, I'm sorry, not Martz. Zachry is throwing a 2-hitter. Both of them singles. And as we go to the 6th, it's 4-0 Mets. Youngblood, Kingman, and Valentine. The meat, if that's the expression I'm looking for, of the 81 Mets lineup. Coming up in the 6th, Youngblood's 0 for 2. Martz kicks and deals. That's a 237. Ground ball to Jesus. Ivan's got it from the hole. He fires to Buckner for out number 1. Here's Kong, 2 for 2. Martz winds and deals a 6-13. Popped him up. Steve Dillard in foul territory one more time. Waits for it to come down. It's going to bring rain off Kingman's bat, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Now it's Valentine 0 for 2 today. Martz kicks and deals. This is a 237. Ground ball to Jesus. From the hole, fires and gets him. That ends the Mets' 6th, and that is 10 in a row for Randy Martz. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 4-0 Mets. Henderson, Buckner, Durham, 2-3-4 coming up for the Cubs. Zachry pitching a shutout. The pitch from Zachry is a 487. And that's hit to center. Deep. Warning track. Mookie's there, and there's 1 down. Buckner's 1 for 2. Cubs cannot mount any offense. The pitch is a 643. We add 5, so it's 648. And it's grounded to Dave Kingman. To his right, gloves it. He's going to feed Zachry covering. And there's 2 down. Now Durham. Zachry winds and deals to Durham. And that is a 661. We add 666. A little scary there. Ground ball to Frank Taveras. He gloves it and throws to Kingman, and that's going to retire the side. So we go to the 7th. Mets 4, Cubs nothing. Brooks, Stearns, and Flynn facing Randy Martz in inning number 7. Martz, after a shaky start, has certainly righted the ship and is doing a good job now, but it's a little late. Cubs need to mount some offense. All right. Brooks 0 for 1. The pitch from Martz is a 672. That's to the screen. Jody didn't bother with that one. The next pitch is a 211. And that's going to turn into a 411. And that's going to turn into a ground ball to Ivan DeJesus. He gloves it and throws to Buckner for out number 1. John Stearns is 0 for 1. The Mets catcher, the pitch from Martz, 518. So that's going to be a defense check from Martz. And he boots it. Off his glove. Stearns is safe. And but that does not add to his fatigue. So I'm going to leave him in, but I am going to get the bullpen going for the Cubs. We're in the 7th. It's going to be Doug Capilla, a left-hander. And just for fun, we're going to get Dick Tidrow. Now, Lee Smith. Why not Lee Smith? The right-hander, lefty-righty, double-barreled action, just the way Joey Amalfitano likes it whenever he's in the Windy City. One out for the Mets. It's Flynn, who has turned into, I don't even know who, Bryce Harper in this series. He's 1 for 2. Martz the stretch. The Cub infield playing for 2. The pitch to him is a 638. Flynn hits it to center field, imagining that he is, in fact, Bryce Harper. And under it is Bobby Bonds for out number 2. Here comes Zachry as Stearns retreats to first base. The pitch is a 140 for Zachry, and that will be ball 4. He walked the Mets pitcher. Now Mookie. This might be his last batter. I could pull him here, but I'd like to get him through the 7th. So let's see what happens. 2 outs, 2 on. The pitch to Mookie. 540, so that's going to be a chance for Steve Dillard. A defense check. And Dillard makes the play to Buckner for out number 3, and Martz does log 7 innings in. We'll see what happens on the Cubs offense, and I use that term in its broadest possible sense. We go to the bottom of the 7th. And your score, Mets 4, Cubs nothing. Zachry with a 2-hitter through 6. Bonds, Davis, and Reitz, a trio of right-handed swingers. Coming up in the bottom of the 7th, no sign of, well, actually, there were, no. In 1981, there was no sign of Harry Carey on the north side, so we don't have to worry about that. Bonds is 0 for 2. Zachry kicks and deals. A 467 is hit in the air to center. High but not deep. Mookie is there, and there's one away in the bottom of the 7th. Jody Davis coming up. Jody's 0 for 1. Zachry kicks and deals. A 160. He walks him. So that's going to add a fatigue to Zachry. And now Reitz. We can get a couple more of those. And a bomb. We can get back in this thing. Reitz 0 for 2. The pitch from Zachry is a 345. Hey, struck him out. He humped up on that fastball. 5 strikeouts now for Zachry. He got Reitz twice. And here's Dillard. Dillard is 0 for 2. And putting nails into his own coffin in terms of playing time for the rest of the split season. The pitch to Dilly is a 380 ground ball. Taveras. He's going to go the short way to Flynn, and that will retire the Cubs in inning number 7. We go to the 8th. Mets 4, Cubs nothing. Cubs haven't even threatened. Well, sort of in the first with 2 outs, I guess. Taveras, Youngblood, and Kingman. Randy Martz's right arm is now about 1.5 foot longer than his left. But that's all right. He's staying in there, baby. We got Capilla and Smith ready in the bullpen. Taveras is 1 for 3. The pitch from Martz is a 563. So that's a defense check for Ivan de Jesus. And he gloves it, and he throws to Buckner for out number 1. Youngblood coming up now. Joel is 0 for 3. Martz kicks and deals a 430 against a right-handed pitcher. Grounded to DeJesus. Cuts it off from going up the middle. He plants and throws to Buckner, who scoops it out of the dirt for out number 2. And now Kingman, 2 for 3. Martz winds and deals a 347. Hey, got him on a bender. That will retire the side with Martz's 3rd strikeout. He hasn't allowed a hit since the 3rd. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Mets 4, Cubs nothing. Zachry, now a 2-hitter through 7 innings. And we're going to get a pinch hitter from Martz here to lead off inning number 8. So all in all, Martz didn't do too badly when you look at the big picture, I guess. He only gave up 6 hits, 8 innings of work, 6 hits. He walked 2, both of them scored. He walked 3, 2 of them scored. He struck out 3. He allowed 4 runs. They're all earned. And he is indeed on the hook for the loss. Mike Lum is going to bat for him to lead off the 8th. He'll be followed by DeJesus and then Steve, don't challenge my arm, Henderson. Pat Zachry kicks and deals to Mike Lum. It's a 118, turns into a 318, and hey, got him on a bender. 6 strikeouts for Zachry, 1 down in the Cub 8th. DeJesus is 0 for 3. Why I led him off, I don't know. The pitch, 377. Ground ball Taveras. Frank's got it and throws to Kingman for out number 2. And Hendu 0 for 3. The pitch to him is a 108. And that turns into a 308. And that turns into, hey, got him with the broccoli cauliflower medley. Gas. We go to the 9th. Mets 4, Cubs 1. Valentine, Brooks, and Stearns coming up for the boys from New York. New pitcher for the Cubs coming on. Lee Smith is going to bat 9th and get an inning of work in. 1981, he had 40 games. He started the last game of the season, and the fact that I know that is more than a little terrifying to me. 3-6 record with 1 save and a 3.51 earned run average. He will face Ellis Valentine, Hubie Brooks, and John Stearns in the Mets 9th. Valentine is wearing an 0 for 3 collar. The pitch from Smith is a 569. That's a defense check for Ivan DeJesus. And he boots it. It's off his glove into short left field. So he extends his collar into the field and adds an E6 to his ledger. Valentine is aboard. Brooks coming up. He's 0 for 2. The Cub defense playing for a double play. Smith the stretch, and the pitch to Hubie is a 239. And that is grounded to DeJesus. His only play is at first. That will retire Brooks. Valentine moves to second. And now Stearns with an 0 for 2 day going. Flynn would be next. The pitch to Stearns is going to be a fielding check for Buckner. A 537. It's by him, a base hit into right field. Well, that's going to be an interesting base running opportunity here for Ellis Valentine. Valentine is a 3 with the speed. Leon Durham's arm, they're going to send him, by the way. I'm just figuring this out. 4 plus 10, so that's a 14. Oh, maybe they won't send him. No, they're not going to send him. Because he would get shot down from here to Okoboji. So, stopping at third is Valentine. Stearns is on. Mets are at the corners. 1 out. We're in the top of the ninth. Flynn is up. He is 1 for 3 and still doing his Bryce Harper imitation. He has just unbuttoned his top button of his shirt. The pitch. 324. And it's on the infield, knocked down by Buckner. He can't make a play. Valentine will score. It's 5-0. Stearns goes to second. And Doug Flynn wants to renegotiate his contract. Pat Zachry comes to the plate. He's looking to finish the shutout, so Torrey's going to let him bat. Smith, the stretch, and the delivery to Zachry is a 168. And that is ball 4. So Pat Zachry has now walked twice in the game. Bases are dripping with Mets. Still 1 out. I could go to Capilla here. No, I'm going to stick with Smith. The pitch to Mookie is a 189. And a wild pitch. Why not? That goes to the screen. And scoring from third will be Stearns. Advancing to third is Flynn. And going to second is Zachry. It's 6-0 Mets. And as my old Phi teacher Ed Olson would say, the romp is on. Do I pull Smith here? No, I'm going to leave him in. Here we go. The infield is back because we got to stop the bleeding. 239. And this is a base hit. Against the left-handed batting Mookie Wilson, that's going to be a base hit. And the news gets better from there, my friends, because that's going to score too. Even Pat Zachry is sprinting around third base heading for home, and now that'll do it for Lee Smith. He got blown up in this one, and I'm going with Capilla even though he doesn't have the platoon matchup. I just can't bear to watch it. So Smith is gone, and Capilla is on to face Taveras with Mookie at first. If I was really had a sense of humor, I'd try and steal a base with Mookie, but I'm not going to because, quite frankly, I'm not feeling it. 1 for 4 for Taveras. It's a 4-run ninth, 8-0 Mets. The pitch from Capilla is a 252 against the right-hander. Is a ground ball to De Jesus. No play at second. Mookie slides in safely, but Taveras is retired 6-3 on the ground out, and here comes Youngblood. Kingman would be next. Youngblood, an 0 for 4 collar. The pitch from Capilla is a 427, and that will be grounded to De Jesus. One more time. Throws to Buckner, and that retires the Mets, but in the ninth, the Mets get 4 on 3 hits. They leave 1. There was an error. There was a walk. All kinds of bodies left all over the field. We go to the bottom of the ninth, and we'll see if Pat Zachry can finish the shutout of the Cubs. Cubs have scored 1 run in 17 innings so far. Buckner, Durham, and Bonds, 3, 4, 5, the meat, if that's the word I'm looking for, of the Cubs order coming up in the bottom of the ninth. Zachry kicks and deals. It's a 119. Turns into a 319, which for Buckner is going to be a base hit. What a hitter. Goodness. Durham up now. Mets playing for 2. The pitch from Zachry is a 4-0-4. Oh my goodness. He grounds it to Flynn, to Tavares for one, and the relay to Kong is in time for a rally-killing, soul-crushing 4-6-3 double play turned by the Mets, and that's going to mean Bobby Bonds is the last chance saloon for the 81 Cubs. 0 for 3 for Bonds. The pitch from Zachry is a 462, and that, my friends, will be extra bases for Bonds. He cracks it off the right center field fence. Mookie's got to run it down. Bobby's around second, heading for third. He's got a triple. And Jody Davis comes to the plate. Jody is 0 for 1. Couple of walks. Zachry is exhausted, but Torrey's leaving him out there. The pitch is a 595, so this is to right field for Ellis Valentine. He's back, and he's got it for the last out in the ball game. Pat Zachry indeed throws a shutout. Let's give you the totals. Wow. All right, for the victorious and visiting New York Mets, 8 runs on 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 hits, and they committed no errors. The Cubs, no runs on 2, 4 hits, one of them for extra bases with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. And the Cubs committed 1, 2 errors. There was also a wild pitch and a pass ball thrown in there for good measure. Actually, 2 wild pitches and a pass ball. The winning pitcher is Pat Zachry. He threw a 4-hit shutout, and his right arm is now approximately 3 feet longer than his left. The loss goes to Randy Martz, who goes to 0-1 on the second half. I'm going to call Martz the MVP. I'm going to call Zach. Why do I keep doing that? I'm going to call Zachry the MVP of this ball game for the shutout. However, given the fact that the Mets have outscored the Cubs 17-1 in 2 ball games, I'm not sure that pitching was the most challenging part of this affair. If I was to choose a position player, Dave Kingman was 3 for 5, and he hit the only run that mattered, the home run to lead off the second, which gave the Mets the 1 run that they needed. Mookie was 3 for 5. He had a good day, too. All right, so our next game will be August 12th, the 3rd game of this 4-game series. It will feature right-hander Ed Lynch. For the New York Mets, he will be opposed by Cubs left-hander Ken Kravik. That will be a good one. Or maybe it won't be. The Cubs are now 0-2 on the second half of the strike-shortened season of 1981. Don't forget to check out channel membership in the description for this video. Lots of good stuff going on the member side of my channel all the time. Thank you for being with me. I hope you have a good day. So long, everybody.